What's up, everyone? Joe with ECRM, and here with me today is Sapan with Mekor Corp, and we're going to talk about the value of patience, persistence, and listening to the customer, and also taking a long-term view, in the industry. So, thanks for joining us. And to start off, when we first met, you just had teas,
Right.
and now you have a whole line of products, right? Take us through your whole lineup that you have now, and then I'd like to get into kind of how that evolved, because I think that's a really important story there.
Right. So like you said, we started with teas, back in 2009, and then our association with ECRM has been since 2015. So this is my 21st session, 21st ECRM session. So we had started out, with tea, more focused on the functional, weight loss teas, and we are the #1 weight loss tea brand on Amazon under our brand called Highlies. But then once we started coming to the ECRM sessions, we started to talk to a lot of customers, and every customer that we were talking to had some areas that they were looking for very specifically, some areas where they always had some problems with their with their supply chain or anything else, and they started asking us, hey, can you work on a particular project for us? And we started taking on some new interesting projects for our customers over the period of time, and that led to our company Mekor Corp's evolution from being a tea company to take on more diversified projects like spices, non-dairy coffee creamers, cookies, aloe vera drinks, coconut waters, and a large array of other products that we have continued to work on, because the key objective was to provide a high quality product at a reasonable price to benefit the end customer and keep the supply chain efficient across, from the manufacturing time to get it to our customers' DC.
Okay. And it's interesting because, like you mentioned, you have such a broad array of products now that I just saw at your meeting space. And, explain when you talk about listening to the customers and solving the problems, how does that happen at our sessions, or in your meetings with them?
So in ECRM, ECRM is very structured. It's a very structured way to meet your customers, because even before the meeting itself, we would already know who we are meeting with. We have the company profile, the buyer who's coming, what is the buyer's focus in that particular session, and that you will not find anywhere, right? So we also have the opportunity to prepare for these sessions way, ahead of time. So that also helps us position some of our products.
Okay.
And then when it comes to innovation, how that is achieved is by having conversations around what are the problem areas that we can solve for the customer. When you ask a question that are there any areas that we could possibly help you in, is a good question, and that actually has helped us a lot. Because when your customer starts to talk about certain areas that they have been trying to develop, but for whatever reasons, they still have room to take on more products or develop a new line under a new brand, then those are the areas that we have actually started getting involved in more and more.
Okay.
Which also led us to start doing private label for some of our key customers, because when we started Mekor was focused on some of our own brands that either we own or we represented in an exclusive capacity.
Okay.
But now we have opened the doors to even take on brands that are owned by our customers, because that has a lot of advantage also, because it's the speed to value, because these are large national retailers with well-known brands. So if we are making something, then they also are investing a lot of their marketing dollars in promoting their own brands.
Yeah.
So I look at it as a win-win.
It's a true partnership.
It is a true partnership.
Yeah. So I think it's just what's fascinating is because I've seen you, when you first came here just with the teas, and then how you started bringing on more and more products to what I see today at the meeting space. Those also come from conversations that you have over time, right? And I know you're a big proponent of taking a long-term view of success, right? And you're not going to just blow up right away. What is your philosophy? Describe your philosophy in terms of building relationships, and not just with buyers, but also with other industry people, because you've brought on some staff, or you work with other people that you meet on the vendor side too at our sessions.
Yeah. So, I mean, just like any other relationship, right? You have to continue to work on these relationships. Now, ECRM, as it is providing a great benefit to the buyers as well as the sellers by creating structured meetings that you will not find in any expo or any other exhibition for that matter, right? I mean, that's a hit or a miss, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the buyer may not stop by the booth, but here there is an agenda.
Yeah.
You're getting that, the 10-minute slots that you have an opportunity to talk about, your products and meet with your customer at the designated time, and the ECRM staff is there to help shepherd those meetings along the way. So I see a lot of value in such kind of meetings. And as far as building of the relationship is concerned, then I mean, this is our 21st ECRM, right? So my expectation from my 21st ECRM is that even if I have one good lead that can turn into sales, I would consider that to be a success. But the key is consistency. The key is to continue to meet with these retailers in these structured meetings. And we have opened doors to some very large national chains through the help of ECRM. So to give an example, when we started with ECRM, we were selling to probably a few thousand stores, but today our count is, from we're looking at doors, it's magnified significantly. I would say at least 10x.
Wow.
So that is that did not happen through the first ECRM or the second ECRM. It was continuous meetings and then taking customer feedback. We did not achieve these results, out of our first ECRM or the second ECRM, right? We continued to come and participate in these ECRM sessions, and sometimes it takes a lot of time because these are national retail chains. It could be their, the planogram timing could be different. It could, it may not have been the right time to do a category review at that particular time. There could be so many other factors, or they may have just onboarded another vendor, and they're trying out a product set. But once you are coming to these sessions and the buyer has the ability to meet with the same vendor over a period of time, then the relationship does form, and the consistency of these meetings is really important, because the buyer also has then that level of confidence that, hey, I've seen this vendor so many times and I've seen their products in XYZ stores, and probably we can try and see and look for an area that we can work with them on. Without naming any names, we have opened up a lot of key national retail chains through the ECRM, focused meetings that we've been coming to, and it has also helped our company evolve from being just a company focused on tea to where we are today. Tea is still our a primary business of ours, but then it has also led on to open up many other areas that we are focused on. So I feel that and I want to say this especially to the new ECRM vendors who may be attending their first or their second ECRM is to not to give up, because I've seen a lot of vendors who have also not the first time vendors who have also not come back, because just like any other relationship, there's a lot of time that needs to be invested to cultivate these relationships. It's not just in ECRM, it's in life. It's a philosophy of life.
Yeah. And the point that you made, sometimes things happen that are outside of your control. You may meet a buyer at one of our sessions or anywhere, and then all of a sudden you have some momentum, and then that buyer moves to another desk, and now you're starting from scratch with a new buyer. Or like you said, it could be a timing thing or whatever. Right. So it's just the importance of sticking with it. And then when you come back, like in your case, they're seeing you come back, and every time you come back, there's more offerings that, they see you coming year after year after year. They know you're a solid business, right? They know you're not gonna disappear, and then they see you expanding and growing, and that goes far in building the confidence in doing business with you.
Yeah, and it's all about relationships. It's all about building relationships, cultivating relationships, and as a matter of fact, my first buyer that I met from the ECRM actually now works in our company and is here at this ECRM, along with me. So that was a relationship that was formed over here as well, right?
Yeah.
So you never know, right? It's all about consistency. It's all about persevering those relationships. Continuing to invest in those relationships, and then the probability of success is going to be much higher, I feel.
Yeah. So just as a benchmark, give me the two extremes, right? Tell me about one situation where it took you years to break into an account, and contrast that with a fast one. What was each experience like?
So since I've been coming to the ECRM sessions for almost 10 years at this point of time. There have been extremes where it has taken us 5 to 6 years to break into some of the retail, like the large scale national retail chain stores, and sometimes it's all about timing, so it also happened at the same ECRM, at one of the ECRMs, where I was actually having dinner. This was after the ECRM sessions, and I was talking about one of our products to someone else who was sitting at the table, but I did not know that there was a senior buyer of a very large national retail chain who was listening to our conversation, and then she stepped in and she said, I would like to get this product into my stores, and I would like to talk to you more about it, and she actually did. So,
and how long did that take?
That took a few months.
Wow,
like 3 months. But then this is one of the largest retail chains in the world. So, yeah, it was a very like a by chance kind of a interaction that happened. But yeah, sometimes, like you said, give extreme examples. So I'm giving you, but that was a very extreme example.
But it's still 5 years versus a few months. It just underlies the importance of consistency and patience, because as long as you have that, right, and the tenacity to stick through it, opportunities will come during that time.
Yeah, so even at this particular ECRM session, the customers that we've been talking to and we've been meeting with, so we like to focus on solving their problems, and I feel like that some of the things that we have learned is to first try and understand what is their key area of focus, right? I mean, so it doesn't matter if today we have that product or we don't have it, but we have sourcing abilities and capabilities, and we can try and present something. And since Mekor is a high volume, low margin company, we are able to offer decently priced deals to our customers, but that also happens because we are actively listening to our customers. So again, the key would be to come to these sessions, to meet with the customers, to understand what they're looking for. Of course, present what you have, and then take feedback, why or why not is your product a fit for their stores.
Excellent. So what can we expect in the next evolution of Mekor?
So next evolution of Mekor, and again through listening to our customers at the ECRMs, is we are working on some new and innovative items. One of them is pasta. The other one could be pasta sauce. We are still in the very initial stages of that. And then we are doing a private label spice line for one of the largest national retail chains in the world, I would say. So we are doing that as well.
Excellent. Well, it's been fascinating seeing your growth and evolution, and I always love chatting with you and look forward to seeing the next step.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity as well.
Thanks.